I'm actually very excited about our next guest, man. Dude, the dude's did it all. He's had all the verbs, man. This motherfucker is amazing. He's a stand-up comedy. He's been in movies. He runs his own podcast. Very privileged for him to come here.
Absolutely.
And to introduce our new segment, Nestled in.
We're still working on timing. Sorry about that.
It worked. I'm fucking beaming. Look at me. That's my proud baby boy up out there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, please, without further ado, please bring up Anthony Rogers. Anthony Rogers, what's up, man? Thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks, guys. How are you guys doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Not too bad, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it. By the way, awesome beard.
Thanks, man. I just grew this.
Well, I hope so. I hope it wasn't implanted or anything.
No, I just grew it just for the show. Like I figured you guys, I heard you guys like beards, so I went ahead and did something special for it and grew this giant beard for you guys.
I feel like that's definitely like a holding your breath and kind of push out as hard as you can. It just grows.
It would. I'm not gonna say it was easy, but it was worth it. You know.
Commend you. I actually hate my beard, but if I shave it, I don't get laid. That's the rule in our marriage.
Yeah. No. I noticed that rule too. But if I'm 20 pounds overweight, I need a beard. I think
it works.
I needed a few extra beards. That's what I need.
that or tattoos, I guess. I should get like an arm sleeve or something. I think you need that just to stay in the game still.
Oh, when in doubt, nautical star it up, man. Like that's the way to be. Hey, thanks for coming, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Introduce you to our fans out here. I know you a little bit, but just a little promo time for yourself.
My name's Anthony, and this is my couch. We're staring at my couch right now.
That's a fucking sweet couch. I ain't gonna lie. Like I got that futon thing from Walmart. You have to build with an Allen wrench that they supply it in the box. That shit doesn't work. That doesn't work for me, man.
What happens, man? We all had some bad times with couches, some good times with couches, right?
That should be on a T-shirt.
Damn. Now I'm thinking, have I had a bad time on a couch? And I'm like, I don't think so.
Oh, Dino, his
I'm pretty lazy.
I apologize for Dino. Like,
I'll try to forgive him. I'll try to forgive him.
I'm Greek. There's no forgiveness. We don't care.
Well, hey, I gotta ask. You've actually worked with some actually very notable people in the movie industry. Very commendable. Is there anything you can maybe stories without getting too much detail, because I know how it is in show business and whatnot, but is there like a funny story that you may have countered on set you can share with us?
All you have to do to be in movies is suck Harvey Weinstein's dick. That's it. You know, it's not that hard. You just gotta find Harvey Weinstein, track him down, and then blow him, and then you get whatever movie you want. That's how it works.
Well, I've been on his guest list for prison, so I'm hoping for the best.
You'll be in there soon. Yeah, you'll be in Spider-Man 45 before you know it.
Hey, Rhino. I'm hoping for it. That's the thing.
No, I mean, best actual story. I was just talking shit because it's funny. Best actual story, like I don't know. I drove to Canada for my first movie on acid. That was fun. Like on a sugar cube of acid, and I had to go to Canada, and I didn't know anything about Canada or like kilometers or anything. That was fucking weird. And,
that's fair. I am in Toronto, Canada, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, as soon as you cross the border, my data plan goes out, and I'm like, oh fuck, I was gonna cheat off my phone to see like how fast I was supposed to go, and then I finally found out that like on my gauge it told me miles and kilometers. Like 2 days in, I figured that out without getting pulled over somehow.
That is pretty fortuitous.
It was one of the most hated filmmakers too. Like Uwe Boll, like everybody hates him. I think he's awesome, but like everybody, like he's like one of the most hated filmmakers of all time. If you Google him and stuff, yeah. And that's why I wanted to work with him. It was my dream to work with the most hated filmmaker of all time.
Actually, I commend him. I'm familiar. He's the one and dude. Like he actually people talked crap about his movies, and he I think he boxed some critics.
Yes, he did. He boxed like 3 of them in a row. They boxed 3 of them in a row, beat their ass. Yeah.
Yeah, the dude's legit.
He's legit, man. I asked him about that. He goes, I was like, well, did they ever get anything on you? They hit you once or twice? He's like, I got a little sweaty.
Hey, man, if you're going to throw down, be ready for it. That's fair.
Oh, yeah. He bought them tickets, and he put them up in a hotel and everything. Like, they're all like, oh, free vacation. And then, like thinking and he just beat the shit out of him in the ring, man, like 3 of them in a row. It was great.
I'm getting goose pimples from it. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. The dude gets one. I see one. I think there was just a minor shot of it. What I saw a picture, but the dude was in the corner and it wasn't working for him. Bull was going to town.
Well,
But
Uva's
I
actually a
actually,
Golden Glove boxer. Like they found out like after the fact, he's actually like a Golden Glove boxer. He's just biting a bunch of like internet blog nerds, you know.
oh,
It was hilarious.
they go in there. The pen is mightier than the sword.
And not so much.
Yeah, yes, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to piss off a German boxer. It's like, Jesus. Man.
I actually, one of my guilty, House of the Dead.
Oh, great movie! Yeah.
Love the movie. Just cinematically, it's what I don't know. I think more movies need to be like. We get so lost into just plot and meaning and stuff like that. This was just a good time. I know that sounds mean, but like from beginning to end, it was just an action-packed good time, and some of the cinematography on it highly underappreciated. Some of the scenes where they're jumping over things, like do a 360 view. I was like, I remember going, oh my god, rewind it, mom. Come on, let's do this.
That's all like Assault on Wall Street was for me. And a couple other movies of his. I like a lot of his movies, man. Like I like Postal and I like the Rampage series. Like that, I was in the third one of that. That was like my favorite trilogy of his. Like or movie, like even movie like separately. Like Rampage is pretty good. Yeah, no, I think people like made fun of him. He like talks a lot of shit. Like you'll have somebody like make fun of him and just be like fuck you, like basically, and then they get mad and boils up and turns into like a blog or something, you know.
Right. That makes sense.
That's where I think a lot of that happens, and like he just kind of that German tax loophole he took advantage of in the early 2000s. I think a lot of filmmakers just felt stupid compared to him and like had to like make fun of him. He was like he was basically getting paid to make movie. Like he would put a couple like 200,000 or so into a movie, and then like he'd get it back from the German government for that German tax loophole.
Yeah,
the Matrix 2 did that, and then that was the last. And then Hollywood figured it out, and then Germany stopped doing it.
No, I think I could be wrong. I think Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit's actually got started overseas directing because of some of their incentives that they have. I don't want to say it was definitely. I can't look at me. I shouldn't pinpoint any country. I'm not that type of guy, but I know he directed a few, and is well loved in Russia, by the way. So
he's got a VK account, like that's like the German or the Russian Facebook. Basically, he's pretty big in Russia. It seemed like.
Interesting.
Well, that's what on the set. Is he the same way offset? Like when you see him in the interviews, both?
Yeah, but like it was like my friend, so he's like cool to me. Like I could see him not being cool to certain other people though. Like I can kind of see if you're like a dumbass, like I don't think he's not gonna have a good time. He got kind of mad when I ran for office as a Republican too, but he still endorsed me, like even though he fucking hates Republicans, but he still like endorsed me as like a friend though. But no, he gives me a lot of shit I'll ask him about like fun in a movie or something like that. He's like, why don't you hit up the My Pillow guy or whatever, you know? He'll just like go off on me about being Republican. But other than that, I mean, we're pretty good friends. I can email him pretty much any time and talk to him. And like he's making that Postal too, and I think I'm playing like the Unabomber or something in that.
That's awesome. Postal, the first one went places, man.
Dude, that intro, man. That intro is ballsy.
Oh man. Talking about ballsy, man, you're a stand-up comic too. I've actually been following you for a while. We're kind of in the same area.
Yeah, you're pretty close to me.
Yeah, right, dude. And what's one thing going on right now in comedy you wish you could change?
Everybody getting canceled. We're stuck with like Grandpa Dave Chappelle now. You know, it's like they're like, come on, Grandpa Dave Chappelle, tell us about when you used to be funny. You know,
yeah.
And then he's like, well, kids, and he's smoking cigarettes. And he's like, well, I used to be really funny. I had this show and I did all these things, you know. And then like all the other guys get canceled, so we're just stuck with Grandpa Dave Chappelle and like what's left of Pete Davidson. You know? Oh
man, and he's withering away. I
wasn't
think
much to begin with, was there?
Yeah, no, I don't think there was. Yeah, he looks like some I don't know. He looks like an OxyContin test subject with AIDS or something. Like and like Lauren Michaels has him like hooking up with every girl, like pretending like he's like fakes all these relationships for publicity because nobody wants to fuck him and he's not that interesting, you know. So it's like really weird, like that, like he would be the comedy star right now. Like everybody else got canceled, but Pete Davidson's allowed to make jokes still, you know. It's like,
well, I think it's literally Lord giving us the middle finger, saying, "Oh, you think I can't make stars anymore, motherfucker? I'll shove Pete Davidson down your damn throat. I'll make him a star. You know,
he's like, give me Adam Sandler and a bunch of heroin and and some shitty basement tattoos.
It
He's
seems like the formula. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, and he's not that bad. It's just like I'm annoyed all the funny people got canceled and we're stuck with only Pete Davidson. You know, it's like can we just like bring back some people's Twitters and like bring back some people's like Facebooks and like I don't know, bring back some people's careers so we could like laugh again. You know, like for being a comedian should just be funny. I don't really care about anything else. I don't like, you know what I mean? It's just
dude. I agree. It seems every week a comedian gets canceled, and it's usually a failure. Oh, I'm not coming to your show, motherfucker. You never came to begin with. What are you talking? I looked at your profile. You can't afford $5. Like if the show was free, you'd still ask for some money. Like you can't afford a free show. So I get what you're saying. I actually got into. Rest in peace, Bob Saget. But Bob Saget was in the news, and there was a lot of rumors going around him that were just ridiculous. And I was like, hey, guys, this is wrong. Here's a link of proof. And you would have thought I was the worst person in the world. They came out of the woodworks to show me their feelings. And that's the one thing I hate, maybe, feelings over facts. But I agree with you 100%. Do you think cancel culture is ever going to change, or is it ramping up to a point where it's almost like monetized?
There's only two ways it goes. I mean, the people they delete, they end up killing, or they, or this all goes backwards, and like we all have like freedom of speech and freedom of press again. You know, it just depends on really how it goes. I mean, first they delete us, then they kill us. I mean, it's pretty much how society goes. You know.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? Is realistically, it's like, who the fuck cares about your opinion? Oh, you're offended? Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything? Like, this is the thing.
Yeah,
I'm the size of a small, livestock animal. That's fine. But I'm not going to like, listen, I get on an airplane and you're not happy. Well, guess what? I fit in one seatbelt, so go fuck yourself. You're stuck here. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
right?
I never understood when the people with like sad opinions or angry opinions became the rule maker. They're like, I don't like this. I'm like, okay, write a Yelp review, stupid. I don't give a fuck. You know, it's
fuck
like,
off.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, go to Yelp with the rest of the fucking sad losers. I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like, I mean, that's all it really is. It's like, oh, you have an opinion now? Like, all right, well, you know what I mean? It's like I'd like to reintroduce you back to your parents and like fix your problems and stuff, but I'm not really into that. You know, it's like I'd rather just call them idiots. You know, and then they start saying like. They start calling retard the R word. That was like it for me. It's like it's like whatever the N word is or whatever they're like I'm like, okay, maybe years of oppression. Maybe I'll be polite and not say that, like to make my friends laugh, you know. And then they're like, don't say faggot. I'm like, okay, maybe I won't say faggot. And then they're like, maybe I don't know. And then they're like, don't say retard. And they called it like the R word. Like you use the R word. I'm like, oh man, we've gone too far. I'm out, man. You know, it's like I can't even fucking
listen.
Imagine I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dino.
I was gonna say, look, N word, a lot of hate. I get it.
You got me there.
You
got me there.
I'm like, you know what? I didn't know the history. I learned the history. I said, you know what? That's pretty bad. Okay. But then R word, no. That's the word. Retard is the word.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. Oh, someone else abused it? That's not my fault.
They think they're like, whenever I call somebody a retard, they're like, well, my brother's mentally handicapped. I'm like, if you related the word retard to your brother, that's like your fault.
Yeah, you're the asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not me.
It's not me, yeah. And like my gay friends say faggot more than anybody I've ever met in my life. Like they don't even care about it. You know what I mean? But like they say like every other word, and I'm like, I'm saying it. If you're gonna say every other word, I'm saying it sparingly to make my friends laugh.
I find it interesting you say retarded that people want to give you the family tree like you wanted more. Like I already called you stupid. Like why do I want more information? Like no, sir. Like come to this PowerPoint presentation. I'll definitely show you that my tree branches. Like, nah, fuck you, dude. Like, I don't care. Like,
my brother's retarded. You can't say retarded.
And you're like, that's what are you doing? Like, how are we arguing right now? That doesn't make any sense.
That's just context, man. They don't understand context when it's convenient for them or something. It doesn't. It's always like everybody just want to like make all these stupid rules and everybody just went with it. And now we're just like stuck with like nothing. Like we're stuck with like a president that can't stay awake. Like a fucking you know what I mean? Like Trump was so bad, right? Like so that whatever. But then they got like Joe Biden. It's like do better. If you have a complaint, fix the problem or do better. Don't get a guy that can't fucking.
I'm sorry, guys. I really thought I drank that Kool-Aid. I thought it was going to be 4 better years. Listen. And I see the stickers on the gas pumps, and I held my head in shame. I am part of the problem.
Because Trump has problems, but like you don't want to get worse. You don't want to get a guy that like can't fucking use a restroom and can't stay awake and like can't form a sentence. Like his only job's to read a teleprompter, and he can't even do that. You know,
I forgot that he pooped himself.
Well, that makes sense. It goes to the comedy and cancel culture. I think we're losing progression. We can't
Yeah.
because
Well,
they
yeah.
keep saying we can't. Imagine if Carlin said his famous words you can't say in television bit. He would get one word in, get canceled, kicked off Sirius XM. Like it'd be the 8 words you have to say in your apology YouTube video.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. And like we
Like-
need guys like that to push the limits again. I mean, there's people like that happening. It's just like we need to give them more press coverage. We need to give them. It's kind of annoying just to say words to be ballsy and push lines. But I mean, we have to do that right now. We're gonna lose. We're gonna be talking in fucking 4 emojis. You know what I mean? Like that's all they're gonna give us. Like,
well, they work themselves in a shoot. They want cancel culture. Now they got everyone wanting a new breed of edgy new comics that don't know how to do it. So now they're just coming out saying the words without learning the craft first, and then maybe learning how to soften it up for all crowds. I think that would be my opinion. Dino, please educate.
It's just run rampant though. So now one of those trends on fucking reels and TikTok and shit is is it fact or cap? You can't say crap. Really? Crap is a bad word? Go fuck yourself. Okay?
Yeah, it just keeps getting worse.
You're just like that. And the thing is, everyone's going, oh, well, I have to follow the rules. You know what? No, you don't.
They're not even rules.
It's not a rule.
Yeah, they're not even rules.
That's like some guy down the street who's like, you know what? I'm never going to jerk off for the rest of my life. Why do I have to suffer that? Go fuck yourself. You can go not jerk off in your own house. Why the fuck are you telling me?
Yeah, it's just like it just doesn't make any sense, man. I have no interest in playing that game. It's like I follow like the 10 Commandments and like the Bill of Rights, and after that, I'm kind of like they lose me, you know. It's like I'm not gonna kill people. I'm not gonna like steal shit. I'm not gonna like and they kind of lose me after after all this stuff. I'm kind of just like just like some fucking like brown, like pink haired lesbian like yelling at me. It's like fucking like they're gonna die of like heart disease before anything else. You know, it's just fucking insane. Like
yeah.
Like,
that's very true.
Yeah, it's very. I just don't understand it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not getting involved. They're like, hey, let's talk about this. No thanks. Later. I'm like, I
don't want to guess your fucking gender. If you have to like tell me your gender, you're fucking ugly. You know. It's like.
Dude.
It's the benefits of looking like an ogre. No question.
You are making fucking quotes today, man. You are dropping some knowledge. I greatly appreciate that very much. Dino, you got anything for him, man? I've been hogging up all the spotlight.
No, it's more so the concern, like with regards to, I know Anthony, you've been canceled on multiple platforms and stuff. So how do you I guess manage to circumvent that people who, well, let's be honest, are out to nitpick everything you say and do? Like, do you just, I feel like there's an opportunity to become a better bastard versus a combative bastard, you know? Like, instead you can word things better. Like, what's your opinion on that? Because obviously it's something you're going through and it's fucking ridiculous, but
yeah. No, I doubled down, and like I think like they're gonna push me off the internet into real life more, and they're gonna regret that a lot more. I've been buying if I wasn't censored multiple times, like I had a Facebook where like 1 million people get deleted. I had like my verified Twitter get deleted, and this is shit. It takes like 10 years to build. You know, this was this is like it takes forever to get 1 million people. As far as me, I don't know if you're Charlie Sheen, you did in 15 minutes when you just had AIDS or whatever. I don't know, but like fucking like, but I had to like work towards it. I had to get like fucking like I had to like work like 5 years to get like 1 million people and all that stuff. They take it away in 10 fucking seconds. But what I learned is that like I just started doing radio, other people's podcasts, newspaper ads, billboards. So what I realized is like you could ban me from fucking Twitter for life if you want, but like you're gonna have to like read my billboards, you're gonna have to see me in real life, you're gonna have to listen to my podcast. I mean, I'm gonna keep putting myself out there regardless, and just not. And it does make you better. It makes you. I think it makes you way stronger than that, because like you like I would have been like an idiot just like telling like dick jokes, selling t-shirts with my face on at a bar, and like now they like almost like pushed me to be more ambitious. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't really. As a comedian, I really wasn't that ambitious. I was just kind of like, okay, as long as I can like make money to travel and like, smoke weed in my car for like 3 hours before my set, I should be fine. You know, it's like just little goals and like eat free food, drink free beer. I mean, just little fucking goals. And then they like push you away and take away all your hard work and then like try to fuck you over and you just get mad and work harder, you know?
Yeah. No, that's reasonable.
Well, I don't know if you could talk. I'll be vague enough so we can. I actually seen this firsthand from you. This was years back. The can of soda incident that went viral through the St. Louis comedy scene. Anthony just posted a picture supporting a local St. Louis brand soda, and you would have thought he was the worst man in the world. People went off just going off on this man, and that's when I became a fan, because you doubled down, you stayed true. and it was just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Yeah, Dino, what you got?
I just wanted so for my own awareness, it wasn't like Nazi soda brought to you by the SS or anything like that you were.
No.
It was like good soda, and I like this soda.
And so you'd act like I was like, man, I love vests, but fuck the Jews. You know, it's
well,
like,
yeah, that's what I'm assuming, right?
That's what you'd think this ad, but no, it was like, yeah, no, I got this. I was sponsored by Red Hot, Riplets, and Vest, which are two strong St. Louis brands that I wanted to work with when I started to finally having people read what the fuck I'm saying, like 10 years into what I'm doing, and like I'm finally like doing this, and like and these like all these like little jealous like little bitches like came at me and like fucking reported it to like Cop Beverages, which owns Vest, and like just kept reporting it and trying to fuck it up for me. And then like they interviewed me and they sounded so insane and like just undereducated. It just made no sense. Like they're like in Washington Post it said this and then this and this and like we're RFT if 5 people read us. You know, it's just like it like just made no sense. And like they were just calling my quote was like, yeah, my grandfather used to get vests for me when I was a kid. And they're like, that's racist. And I'm like, you guys are idiots. Like, basically, you know, and like, I really wish that our problems could be reduced to racism. Like, what's wrong with the economy? Oh, racism. Like, let's stop racism so the economy gets better. You know, it's such a stupid little kid's like version of reality. It like makes no sense to argue about crayon colors. Like, either way, it's like just boring. It's like, I don't care if you're black or white or you hate black or white people. It's just not my thing. And it's boring. It's just like literally boring. Like, judge people for cool reasons. You know, it's like, it's just like And I said in that article, I think all this just divides the oneness of God, and they're just like, and that's what it does to me, basically, just divides all of our oneness, like divide us into these subcategories and whatever. And like that was just fucking annoying. That was like the first kind of like that was one of the first or second kind of pops. I think it was the second one. The first one was like insane. I made fun. Yeah. The first one I made fun of like. I said Ferguson, Missouri looks like a rap video because like everybody was just like holding up bottles and shit, and they said those, like somehow that was racist, like saying a rap video was racist. I don't know. I don't ever understand these people, man.
My honeymoon was in Ferguson, Missouri, and I love juvenile music videos. So you just put 2 to 2 together, and let's just whatever you want to draw your own conclusions.
That's what it looked like. Not even to be rude. They could
agree.
They could have been Native American doing that shit. It would have looked like a rap video. I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like they could be anything. It's just so dumb. It's like okay, well, he made an observation about black culture. It must be racist. You know,
it was actually. In my eyes, what I said was positive. Like I like rap
I
videos.
do too.
I would love to fucking go there and party. I did. It was my honeymoon.
And how many rappers came out of that culture? Like you had 5 or 6 local rappers like Tef Poe blow up from that shit, man. So but they fed into the culture and the narrative. You're supposed to push this divide. I mean, that's why they push like who's that kid who shot somebody versus like Ghislaine Maxwell. You know, they're gonna show this fucking Kyle Rittenhouse trial because it divides America and pushes a civil war agenda. And then they're going to hide the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, and like even though it was a federal trial, legally is why they said it. But I mean that would unite people. Like if you
how dare you unite people?
And that's what they don't want. I mean, they kill the uniters and reward these fucking like Colin Kaepernick's, Kyle Rittenhouse's, whatever the fuck his name is. They reward all these like idiots that push divide and like racial divide and all this shit. And then like try to call like a vest, like they're so delusional. They called me drinking Vest racist. It's like, what does that even mean? Like, what race am I being racist towards that drinks Vest soda? I mean, white people, like white trash people.
I think that's what I am. I was more offended. I think it was red cream soda or something like pineapple. I was like, at least get a decent vest.
I love them all, man. I still love them all. Even after that guy fucking went off of me, I still love vests. They can't ruin that for me, you know.
It's a good soda, man. It's
like 25 cents or some shit. It's like so cheap, dude. Like Coca-Cola is like $2. Like Vest is like 20 cents. I'm like Vest.
Dr. Vest is on my prescription. That's all I'm gonna say.
They're the best mixers for vodka too, man. Like if you're a drinker, man, that blue raspberry, whatever the fuck. I mean, all that shit's good, man. And like that's what us racists drink. That's our racist fuel.
Apparently.
Why are you imposing color on raspberry? Just because it's blue doesn't mean it identifies as blue. Won't you ask it and see what it really is?
No, there's actually a blue raspberry. That's where it comes from. It's a very unique thing. Anyways,
yeah, but that's only following on society's
rally, I think.
I just feel, Anthony, that you should, like, you already have the glass and the beard. I feel like you should invest in like a fake nose and mustache. Like comically large one. Yeah. And just like start, I'm thinking of doing this for myself where it's going to be like not Dino the Genetic Marvel and then have me with, you know, glasses, giant nose and mustache and go, and just hate myself. That way, at least I'm getting support on some end. Because
I'm not Anthony Rogers. That man's racist because he drinks Vest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
be like, do you know what ogres do? Horrible, that guy. You know, just immediately like start the hate. Have a direction for the hate, people. This
Put
is
on
would've
blackface.
thought
I would
they,
wear blackface and yell at white people. Like, call everybody racist. Like, that's so racist. Like, I call
This is
everybody
the
racist.
thing.
I never understood, like, how do you even become racist? Like, where's the KKK even at? Like, how do you hit up the KKK? You're like, hi, I'd like to be racist with you guys. Is it possible? What are you guys doing Tuesday? You want to like burn some lowercase t's or some shit? It was like, is that what you do? I don't even know how to be racist. Like, can you even be racist? You know, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, this is the thing. I grew up in the 80s, okay? And I'm the youngest of 5 kids. So, like, my siblings were born in the 60s and 70s.
Well,
And
yeah.
I'm like, and I knew, hey, don't do blackface. That's not okay. And I'm going, what is happening that people are like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stand out like this. And you're like, okay, listen, guys.
I don't
What the
necessarily
hell?
understand that either, because I think like you can like have an appreciation for the person. Like, say you want to be Kobe, your kid wants to be Kobe Bryant for Halloween or something like that. That's almost like a compliment at that point. Like that your kid wants to be Kobe Bryant, and that's just how he looks. I mean, I don't think it necessarily diminishes anything. And like, I'm not really a person that thinks that every single black person's a victim or something. It just makes no sense. Like,
No,
it's just like,
it's just a
agree with
horrible
you.
waste of makeup. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know.
No,
Why
it's
are we
accurate.
doing this?
I think that's more accurate than like, because I mean, you can be racist in blackface, but I mean, it's subjective. It's like a hammer. A hammer can be used to like murder a family or build a house. You know, it's how you use the tools. It's not necessarily the tools. It's like they're like, oh, guns kill people. Or like fucking this is a blanket. You know, it just doesn't make any sense.
Reminder to our listeners: always have a tool belt with multiple tools, not just a hammer by yourself. That's how you find an excuse.
Well, that's not that long ago. We act like this is it's immediately racist, but we have examples of comedic actors doing blackface in contemporary times better. And I can go from Robert Downey Jr. to Karl Malone, Jimmy Kimmel, to like all this stuff. It's not acceptable now, and I understand their side, but why can't we make that different now? We've been educated on the vaudevillian stuff.
To go through it.
Can my son, who does nothing about the WB Frog and all that vaudevillain Al Jolson stuff, he just maybe wants to dress up like LeBron James? Like,
right?
Is that where exactly do I have to explain to him that situation he can't because of history, or can we evolve from there? I guess.
Wouldn't it almost be more racist to tell people they can't dress up in blackface? Like, it's almost like more racist to be like you can't. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you can't admire black athletes because that, and like that's like the first thing they see too is their skin color. I was like talking about it. I posted some Jesus quote on Facebook, and some guy's like, yeah, but he was a fucking like Republicans wouldn't like him because he was a Middle Eastern man and blah 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 blah. I'm like if the first thing you see with Jesus' race, you're probably fucking mentally ill. You know, it's like makes no like that's like the first thing like savior of the human race didn't come up. You know, dying for our sins on a cross didn't come up. Like being the only nice person that ever walked the earth didn't come up. I mean, he's like, no, he's brown skin. I don't think anybody in Missouri would like him very much. And I'm like, what a dumb fucking take. You know, it's just like, it's like so stupid. Like that people put such
they
emphasis
didn't even
on race.
mention his like solid carpentry or anything.
Yeah,
like,
dude, or his rabbi experience.
Initially sandbagging him for no reason. Like didn't even give him a compliment sandwich.
Yeah, it's like you went to Jesus' LinkedIn, it just says not white. That's basically what he was saying to me. That's basically just what he was saying to me, and it was just so dumb, and like I couldn't even believe like how fucking like childish the left is. I mean, you know what I mean? And the radical left at that, not just like most Democrats probably aren't ridiculous, but like the radicals make it ridiculous, you know?
Well, that's the thing is it's the idea that race has to be focused on.
Yeah,
right. Like I'll be honest with you. If I saw somebody in blackface, I'm like, I'm getting out of here. That guy's gonna get killed. I'm like, I'm not gonna hang out, right? But I'm not gonna. Well, but that's the thing is, I'm not gonna. I'm like, I think that's something like. For me, I'm like, I'm Greek. Okay, Greek people have suffered in the past and that kind of stuff, and I'm like, listen, I just don't think it should be anyone's focus because the fact is, like, I have my one sibling looks like he's from Southeast Asia. He looks like he was born in India. I'm like, he's got a darker skin tone. And we had those kind of issues. And I'm like, but me, I'm very, very light skinned. So I'm like, I don't really care. I'm like, hey man, whatever. It's weird.
Back in the day, I see it way more. I think this is like the least racist generation of all time. I think actual racists are almost like people are afraid to even be racist anymore. So it's not like a time where like it's acceptable. I mean, this is the time if you're racist like right now, you're getting called out in 10 seconds. Like people that aren't racist are getting called out. So it's a different kind of time, I think. Like
even my son, like it's school's completely different. All that, like I went very Midwest, and I mean it wasn't complete. It was tolerant I will say we respected each other. We may still have the razzing and stuff like that, but now I think the like you pegged it, the new generation's doing it right, and I think they're going to find out the happy medium, hopefully. But
Yeah, like I was
right
like
now,
I was a fat kid. I was called everything from like faggot to fat ass. I mean, I didn't give a fuck. I mean, it's like
Mhm.
I mean, you may have at the time, but like it doesn't. I was a fat kid with a bowl cut, man. I was bullied too. It doesn't just
Well,
happen.
you probably deserved it if you were a fat kid with a bowl cut. Let's be
You
honest.
do,
I
yeah.
chose
Why
to
would you
have the
just be
bowl
good looking,
cut,
right?
guys. Like,
I
that's
should have
what
just been.
sucks.
I should have just been good looking, right? But no, but I mean, that's the thing. Is like everybody's gonna get bullied no matter what. Even if you do the right thing all the time, you're gonna get bullied. Even if you do the, I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. It's how people are, and like you're not just gonna end that by fucking like silencing free speech, and like calling everything hate speech. I mean, that's just polite fascism,
Well, I think there's a definite benefit to the idea of character building with that interaction between kids, but at the same time knowing boundaries. We're going, hey man, now you're just being an asshole, right? Like there's that line where you're going, hey man, be quick-witted, have the interaction, be able to come back and clap back at people, because that builds character. But it's like, listen, if some kid is crying because they don't want to go to school, hey, someone hasn't done their job, right?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like
there is a line for sure.
And that's why I'm like, listen, I have no problem if someone's like, hey man, like fuck, sports balls this past weekend, we had somebody make a comment where it was like, listen, that person has every right to make that comment. You can't like they've gone through that experience, they can say whatever they want, right? So at the same time you're going, well, listen, I'm not getting involved. Why? Because that's not my experience and I want nothing to do with it. Is that fair?
Yeah.
But it's like, at the same time, I'm not going to go out and silence a guy who has had that experience, has every right to talk about it. No way. Not going to do it.
Well, I think that's the broader point I guess I was trying to make. We're on Idiotsayswhut. So again, take whatever knowledge we're trying to drop with a grain of salt. We're just trying to live in this life that we have right now.
Well,
so,
knowledge definitely spelt wrong. That's okay.
Exactly. What I think is we need to have these discussions. I've been so afraid to even talk about this. Like I want to know. I'm not upset if you tell me I'm wrong about my theory. Like I want you to. I want to have a conversation so I can understand it better. Because I'll be honest, this is a situation I will have no experience with ever because of who I am as a person. But I'm willing to try to figure it out. But I also want to have an open dialogue on this. Like. And I think sometimes that gets shut down because we're so scared of offending.
But listen, there's so many people, and I don't know, Anthony, maybe you can chime in on this and give your perspective here, is that there are so many people whose entire identity is wrapped up in one individual thing that has nothing to do with who they are as a person. I'm like, listen, I don't hate you because you're a certain color or from a certain country, but I will hate you because you're a piece of shit person and you have no morals. That's my right.
I'm tired of you bullying my Guitar Hero skills, Dino. You know how good I am rocking the guitar.
We'll get better, it's tough love. You gotta get better. If you don't like being not good at something, you gotta be good at something. Try it out. It's like with anything though. I just like I was like talking the other day. Like I commented on this thing. Like some girl was like, "What would you do with $1 million?" And I commented, "Be middle class." And like I was like making
lower middle, but yeah.
yeah. I was making fun of like inflation and like the value of money, and then she like comments on there like it was like a black and white thing. She's like, "Well, it must be nice to be white and be able to say that's middle class, but like black people don't make money." And like she basically like I think calling black people poor and saying they don't make money, and the response is more racist than anything I said. And I'm like, Will Smith is richer than me. Is like it's just like a dumb argument. Yeah, very rich. He has a way better couch than this, And like this isn't even even close to Will Smith's couch.
Multiple better couches.
And this isn't even close to Will Smith's couch. But I'm saying
he has a better couch in his garage. Like just hanging out.
4-person ones, like not even 3. It's a 4-person couch. You're like, listen, you can't. Yeah,
he's just a better person than all of us. He's a legitimately better person, and that has nothing to do with race. He just worked hard. He just worked hard. He did his thing. And then that's the annoying thing. It's like all like she like acted like every black person's broken to me somehow. And I'm like that is such a dumb fucking thing to say, and probably way more racist than me making fun of inflation.
I respect Will Smith for staying married to Jada Pinkett Smith. It's not like she's been easy on. She's a tough woman, man. Well, like those round tables get serious.
I think she left him.
Really? Is that what?
He'll
They'll be
take her
back.
back. He'll take her
I don't
back.
think she was ever together.
Listen,
It's
well, this
No,
is
that
okay. Sorry, go ahead.
all those Epstein leaks, man. Like you had Bill Gates' wife leave him. You had Jeff Bezos' wife leave him.
yeah.
You had Will Smith's wife leave him. All those pedophile leaks, man. They're fucking like at least the wives were affected by it. I mean, no one else is ever going to go to jail for it.
Well, it was their chance to go out for safety, right? Be like, well, this is my shot. I'm leaving it now, or I'm never leaving. So,
You told me you and Jeff were just friends.
yeah, you're a liar, sir. You're a liar. And here, give me my billions of dollars. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
See, this is the one thing that I find just absolutely hilarious is that it's like people don't understand that you're like, listen, if you want to be famous and you want to be successful, it's a lot of goddamn work. And in any environment, and we were talking about this off camera, Tim and I, was like, if your economy or country can afford to have just one billionaire, yet still has people who are homeless and hungry at the end of the day, your country has failed. It's that simple.
Society as a whole. And these guys buying NFTs, man, they're buying $200,000 JPEGs and not feeding the poor. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these guys, man?
Yeah,
like it's your moral responsibility as a rich person to feed the poor. I think personally, I think it really
absolutely.
is.
And to be in the soup kitchen, to be serving, that's the key.
It is. I agree.
That's a matter of integrity, principle, and character.
100%.
You being, I'm going to throw money. No, you're just a dick.
Yeah,
that's what you are.
Before we go, we actually had French accent Kevin Bitten here last week, and we were talking about this woman who was selling farts in jars at OnlyFans, and because of her diet, almost died. She changed her format so she could live. She's now selling fart in the jars NFTs. If you want to discuss on this, you can. I just thought you guys we went into this territory.
Are they scratch and sniff?
The game will better be for $2,000,
dude. Yeah, I couldn't if you need a fucking nothing's a better IQ test than buying an NFT. You know, it's like
no better I just IQ don't test. Get it. I don't get it.
I think Facebook going by Meta was like a scheme to take the focus off all their crimes and shit. But, They're like, we're not Facebook anymore. You know that data mining company created by the CIA to make you put your face and all your fucking things. No, we're not that. We're Meta.
We're Meta. It's different.
We're going into the metaverse. You probably don't understand it because you're poor enough from Silicon Valley. You probably just don't get it. We're geniuses. Let the geniuses let the robot reptilian fucking humanoids take care of it, and you just sit back in fucking Ohio and like get in the metaverse with us. You know, it's like it was such a dumb and delusional pitch that he has no idea how humans work at all.
They jingle. You get your own avatar. Like keys to us. Like, hey, you get your own avatar right over here.
I believe what they did was they're just announcing to everyone this, hey, our national espionage program is now going international. That's what they did. We're going through outside of the country for our espionage, not just staying local. Because you know what? Progress is progress, people. Got to find them secrets.
we're I ain't gonna lie. We talk about Reddit and memes. When he did introduce it, shame on whoever set up the background for Zuckerberg when he did it. There was like a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's on the show. Yeah. Like they didn't even try. Like it turned into a weird ARG YouTube hole if you really wanted to, of like secrets. Like, this is ridiculous. What is he really trying to say?
Remember those crazy YouTube videos where it's like a mannequin talking and like weird sounds, and you're like, that's every interview with Zuckerberg is like that. And you're like, at some point in history, people would be like, so this was an interview with a robot before everyone knew he was a robot. Watch how his face doesn't fucking move. Like,
yeah, he's like a lizard that put on a human suit pretending to be human. Like, that's what he seems like.
An ill-fitting lizard suit. Or
suit.
Like,
he's like, I'm just smoking meats. Like, people no one fucking says that. No one just like says I'm smoking meats. I mean, like they all say barbecue or I'm grilling or the terminology.
Like a dark alley. Hey, I'm just smoking meats out here. You're like, that makes sense.
I bet you are, Zuck. You know, it's like
it's toilet green. It's people.
Yeah, it's just so weird, man. It's like these people just like are fucking. I think we had a rise of consciousness, and they used the pandemic to kind of hide that, like this rise of consciousness we had, where we saw through all these fucking idiots. We saw through all these idiots. We saw they're just sex. We saw the CIA and celebrities were sex trafficking and drug trafficking and all these different things on high levels, and like we got locked down for it, not them apparently. So that was weird. I figured they should be on house arrest instead of me, you know.
It all turned on our heads when we realized the tinfoil hats that we saw, like Mel Gibson from Conspiracy Theory, that shitty '90s movie, was right the whole time. It is pretty good.
Well, that's what they do. They get crazy. They get crazy people to say the truth, like Alex Jones. They get a guy like Alex Jones to scream the truth. No, I don't even like
a crazy person. Yeah.
But you're like,
he's right.
Yeah, that's the worst part. The worst part is that he's fucking right. Like, that's the worst part. I mean, it's like in 2006, I'm like, shut up. All my friends were telling me this shit. I'm like, shut up. And I started seeing it happen. I'm like, holy fuck, Alex Jones and David Icke are right. Like, this is fucking insane. You know,
Right?
I'm like, it's
And
like,
dude, those both guys, you're going, listen, of all the people to not be right, I want you to be not right the most.
yeah,
And they're right. And you're like, God damn it. Seriously?
I laughed at him for a decade, bro. I laughed at him for a decade. And I
Who
started seeing
didn't?
I started seeing it happen. I'm like, oh man, was that like a psyop or something? Like, you just made the truth seem so crazy.
That's the thing though, is like, so we were you may have heard part of our Am I the Asshole segment where we were talking about that guy, and you're going, listen, we're finally seeing the fact that it's like, oh, your employer could give a fuck about you. Number one. Government, even less of a fuck, especially unless you aren't paying taxes. Then they give all the fucks for you. And you're going, listen, none of this makes any sense. And if anything, I feel like there is, like, we were talking about this a few weeks ago, was like, I believe there's a very good possibility we are entering a new quasi-renaissance where it's like people are challenging the status quo and also realizing the importance of art in general in life. Right?
I agree.
But we're not going to see it for like 50 years.
We need to weed through the trash because I'm not buying NFT fart jars. Like, if this is art, we need to weed from the chaff. Like, we need to start dividing it now. Trim the fat. Go ahead.
Well, after the bubonic plague, we saw the same thing. That's when the Renaissance happened after the plague the first time, and like, and our world's happening a lot faster now. So it's like this isn't like we're not gonna have 1,000-year dark ages anymore. I mean, unless like we nuke everything. I mean, it's possible still, but it's not likely. And like to where we're just in this new area. I think you're right. I think you know what the Renaissance things. There's a lot of silver lining. People talk to their family again. They realize their worth again. They realize maybe working at Taco Bell till fucking midnight wasn't smart. So Taco Bell closes at 9 now. You know, it's like certain things like they're like, oh man, maybe I should go to school to become a painter instead of fucking staffing fast food all day. I mean, a lot of people are evolving at rapid rates, and that's the impressive part that you're not seeing on the news. Like, the news is just fear porn and fucking pain porn. You know, it's like, but in reality, I mean, there's a lot of silver lining in this experience right now.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And that's one of the things. And like you were saying, people are talking to their families more. Thanks, Crystal. People are talking to their families, but also people aren't talking to their families too. And I'm like, there you go. Because you know what? Fuck some of your families. They're assholes. And it's like,
well, that's a social media thing. I think that's just for clicks. I mean, they make everybody argue, and that's a huge impact. Social media wants everybody arguing has the most impact. Like, that's what I used to do for marketing. It's like I'd piss everybody off because then you'd have the most range of marketing. But then like it comes to a point where we're seeing the results of that now, and it's not being good. And how people's grandparents are blocking each other and shit. You know, it's like you're having like if your grandma's getting banned for a meme and blocking you on Facebook, we've gone too far with shock culture and all this bullshit too. We got to get it back, and family's the one thing we got to stick it out no matter what. I mean, even if even if someone's a fucking loser and an idiot, or however you view them, or however they view me, we all have to fucking like band together as a family, and then a friend group, and then like country and city, and like, I mean, we have to have each other's backs, or no one's gonna have our back, really, you know.
So, I'm gonna piggyback on that and say we have to, because we got to keep grandma in the loop, because if not, all our recipes are going to suck for the next generation. Grandma's got the good food. Like, keep her on the she's got the good techniques. You'll never know how that no-bake cookie worked before if you don't know now. You got to keep her in the good graces. Dino,
wisdom. We're losing wisdom. We're isolating ourselves from wisdom and people that actually care about us and know ourselves, you know.
Right.
Well, and that's the other thing, is like, realistically, every time there has been war and or occupation of a country, one of the primary objectives was to destroy that country's history. So libraries, government records, those were all things that were stored. Like, so Greece was occupied by the Nazis, and that's exactly what they did, was they burned those places to the ground. Yeah. And like, look, we all have heard stories about the library in Alexandria in Egypt, and that was a huge thing where it was a central unit for knowledge. And you're going, yeah, and the fact is, finding those records has been a huge quest for a lot of people. But the idea that we're losing so much knowledge, you're going, there's a lot of odd history where you're going, hey, like, we talked about this a few weeks ago, Tim and I, on a previous episode, was the idea that, like, how much history can you verify? You're going, one generation, 2 generations, maybe 3 generations, you'll have something from family members, which will only be hearsay, but we can't confirm it. And you're like, now we're finding out history where you're going, hey, did anyone else realize that people were bastards back in the day? Like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this shit again, you know? And then you're like, oh, we're doing, like, with regards to our current wonderful situation of not being able to leave our homes, you know, you have stuff going, hey, maybe we kind of fucked up. And you're going, no. The government can't fuck up. You're going, hey, the government definitely fucked up.
And
It
it's the
gets-
most
it gets
untrustworthy
surreal.
institutions. It's the most untrustworthy institutions telling us these things too. Like,
Yeah.
like all of a sudden, people trust the pharmaceutical industry and the government. I'm like, what? I'm like,
Fuck that.
We've been insulting this for like 20 years, like at least. And then all of a sudden, like Bill Gates is the master of Earth now. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Well,
It gets surreal when you get your Canadian Prime Minister talking about a bunch of YouTubers that went to Canada in a plane on a press conference. Like, to me, that's like when political officials are now commenting on what people are doing. It just seems like there's so much vast problems out there than this. It's just more distraction. Also, shout out to all the people that got hammered playing our shot game. Dino has been mentioning Greek out that wazoo, so you are hammered, and thank you for watching it, all of us.
That's why the comments have died down. People are like, I am too drunk to type. That's definitely how it works. Well, this is the funny thing is that throughout history, we've always focused on family or community of some sort, right? Where my parents grew up, their priest, their local priest, was where they went to. But that was the same person that, hey, if somebody was out of work, they would go to the priest would help them out. If their kids didn't have food to eat, they would go to the church would feed them, right? It was a cornerstone of the community. But now people are focusing on, well, the idea, especially in the US, where it's like, well, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat. You're literally focusing all your loyalty onto an organization that could give a flying fuck about you.
Most likely, yeah. No,
right?
You're right.
And that's where I'm just saying,
going,
hey, yeah, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Sorry, Dino, but Biden tucks me in every night. I don't know where
I'm sure he whispers in your ear.
I think you're too old for it.
He reads me my favorite little critter book and smells my hair, where my hair used to be, my bald scalp. He smells it, says it smells nice.
I think you're too old. You're too old for Biden, man. Like, I think you're about 20 years too old for him, you know.
Well, that's what I thought too. But he says my boyish good looks always brings him around. I don't.
Okay. Well, you know, you got that going for him. I can see that actually. I may talk you in with Biden now. You may have sold me on that. I don't know.
Hey, thank you for coming, dude. This has been funny, enlightening, everything we wanted it to be. This is your time to shine. Please tell everyone where we can maybe get more of you on social media and anything live coming up.
No, you can find me on OnlyFans, my Snapchat Premium. And don't look me up. Don't listen to my podcast. Don't watch my movies or don't see my shows. You know, I'm trying to keep the numbers down. You know,
that's
valuable.
It's exclusive. It's being exclusive. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to be exclusive.
That's the way to be.
That's only fair. Listen, like an NFT, it's very exclusive. It's just
the only difference is I exist. In
the real world, people, in the real world, it's amazing.
Yeah, fuck the metaverse, you know. Like let's bring back. Let's fix Earth first, and and fix the real world before we all escape into fucking Futurama or whatever the fuck they're trying to do, you know.
Dude, my son's generation's gonna pull up to the shady part of town to a corner, and the lady's gonna be coming to the window. What do you need? I need a $50 NFT from you, baby. Like, all right, yeah, okay.
It's like go back to doing drugs, America. Like you're a lot cooler on drugs, America. Like
you knew how to party then. You weren't so fucking uptight.
We need the 70s CIA. We don't need what they're doing now. We need the 70s CIA trafficking cocaine. That's what we need. Right?
I love that you even know that. Most people I bring that up and they think I'm like crazy talking about the feds and like the stuff, smuggling drugs. And no, you're right. That's the entire blow and crack epidemic was like
so much. So like where you're going, hey, it wasn't just that they were doing it. Complete disregard for the safety of the nation. Yeah. That's who did it, guys. Like,
a lot of the slums are here because of that. Still, I'd say parts of California, New York, Chicago. I mean, St. Louis, even like were destroyed. Never came back from the crack epidemic, man. Like that they created to fund some fucking stupid jungle war or whatever.
How could you? Like, it was completely debilitating on an entire
I have to disagree, right? Because without crack, we wouldn't have glorious Master P's album telling us how to make crack in that song. So, like, I don't know. You're trying to stifle art now, guys. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
The progress of mankind that
you become what you've hated.
That's so funny, dude. That's so funny, man. It's true.
Hey, thanks for coming to the show, dude. This has been a blast. You're welcome to come back anytime.
Yeah, have me on whenever, man. God bless you guys. Thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. We'll talk soon. Dude, that was
Oh,
wild.
that was a damn good time.
You know what? We had a slow start, but once we hit our rhythm, that was really good. He was a really good guy. He was pretty cool.
Oh, dude, love it, dude.
Whoa, stop. Give us a like, share, and a subscribe, and get out of here.
Watch Idiotsayswhut live on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.